I finally got to see Oppenheimer at IMAX, which I think overall was just an incredible film. I'll chat firstly about the actual IMAX experience itself. I forgot how tall and close the IMAX screen is, and you do have to sort of reorientate yourself a bit. I did find that the close-ups were just a little bit too close at the start, and I felt myself pushing my head back into the seat to get a few more inches away from the screen. And I was also in the second row from the back. I couldn't imagine being any closer than I was. Once that does sort of settle, I was just fully immersed. Sound has been such a huge bugbear for me in films lately in the cinema. Normal cinemas often feel too soft, or I can hear sound bleed from a next door film, but this was so rib-rattling loud, and I really forgave anything else for just how incredible the sound was. I'm really not too knowledgeable about aspect ratios in general, but it seems that there are two shifting ratios that Oppenheimer was filmed in the 2:21 letterbox ratio, and the 143, which is almost square and fills the whole screen from top to bottom, left to right. Okay, to the film itself. I think overall it is an incredible achievement. The first 2/3 of the film had such tight pacing. We were introduced to a number of characters and concepts at high speed, but to me it never felt overwhelming. I think it's because the goal is seemingly straightforward. Can they create the bomb before the enemy, or the Russians? Can. Include some dangerous liaisons with Florence Pugh, I'm putting together a team montage, and you've got yourself an historic biopic, baby. The collection of side characters were all solidly played, and Emily Blunt especially swung really hard in a very unforgiving role of the neglected housewife. It's a bit of a cliche that unfortunately most biopics fall into. I guess if it's true, it's hard to ignore. But the sequence leading up to the Trinity test, and the Trinity test itself, is just electric. There's this moment of huge silence. And as I sat there, all I could hear was the wonderful 1570 film whirring away above me in the projector, and it was just a bloody great time in the cinema. The last third of the film is very courtroom orientated as Oppenheimer defends his legacy, but to be honest, I love all this stuff, so it really didn't drag for me. Overall, see this film as big, as loud as you can, and I'd love to hear your thoughts below.